I'm going to send you some links to some ASMR on YouTube, and then we can talk about it, and you can tell me if it's nuts. Because I listen to ASMR. I'll share with you my favorite lady.
That'll be good, actually. I can probably mock you mercilessly. Not that I have a predetermined thought process on it at all.
Yeah, you definitely can mock me mercilessly. What I actually expect is going to happen is that you're going to fall in love with her because she's really good looking and she's lovely and she's calming and she's nice. Anyway, she's great. I'm in love with her, it sounds like. Anyway, go ahead.
Let me know if something happens there. She can be your hall pass. For my hall pass, not that famous actor, I would like the ASMR girl.
Exactly. I think we've talked about this on the show before about the concept of a hall pass and how I don't believe in it.
Yeah.
And if my husband says that he wants a hall pass with someone like famous, I'm going to make it really fucking weird then and say, well, cool, then my hall pass is Matthew from across the street.
The other good one is, all of your friends. That's my hall pass. That would end right there really quick.
Honestly, though, he wouldn't believe it because his friends are munters. There's not a single one that I would touch.
Yeah, of course. You goddamn munters got that going
on. A munter is just somebody.
I'll slip an extra shrimp on the barbie for you.
You can't have any munters around the house.
Munter. It's actually a derogatory term for a fugly woman, and there has been much to do around a football team that's called themselves the Munter Hunters.
Very good.
Whoop whoop.
This is Total Babble. Total Babble. It's a show about music, pop culture, social media, movies, the internet, relationships, TV, whatever. Total Babble. The Total Babble Podcast.
Hello to you.
Caw-caw.
And welcome to the show. I'm Stu. She's Emily. And I've just decided that should be the new official greeting.
Caw-caw.
Hey, caw to you. How's it going? That kind of thing.
I love it. It's very friendly, isn't it?
Hi, how you doing? I'm a bird that's not even annoying. I'm not like one of those annoying birds. Caw-caw.
Caw-caw.
So as we start this week's show, I am infested with roofers. A couple buildings down, they're putting a whole new goddamn roof on the place, and it's just constant noise all day long, and I have soundproofing, but you can't guard against that. It's so loud, and nothing against any group of people. I am an honorary Mexican uncle to a family. They call me Tio. That's the kind of openness and love that I have, but I will tell you that mariachi music is the worst shit in the world. Like, all Walmart workers are terrible. Mariachi music is just bad and horrible. Accordions should not exist except for Weird Al. Weird Al gets a pass, and I know that's very white of me. Sorry, but accordion is just the worst instrument. It's worse than the sitar, and I had to walk over there yesterday and say, can you turn the music down? And then I thought too, the kind of music aside, would you walk into any neighborhood and start banging away on a roof and blast any kind of music really loud, even good music, while you were working to annoy the neighborhood? To me, it seems like you would have the built-in social contract in your brain that says, I'm not going to annoy everybody. And to their credit, I walked over there and I said, yeah, I work in this, and can you turn the music down? And they have, but now I just have to battle the pounding. And I was very excited because I just got new stuff for the studio here, the post-processing. And I love how when I'm on one of these initial runs, she follows along and makes the faces like, oh, gee, really? I just got a new Swedish compressor that I'm looking to try out. And I got a new upgrade thing that I had before called Dialogue Isolate. And I guess we'll see how good that stuff works now because I am infested with roofers.
One, great story. Tickled me in my funny bone because when you open up with I'm infested by roofers, I automatically went to go say, I think you said roofies wrong. And then when you said, I've got to battle the pounding, I was like, do you want to talk about it? Are you okay?
Yeah, the banging all day long is not the kind that I'd like.
I was about to say, at all. That is not what we're looking for. White Lotus is back.
I have not watched The Lotus yet. I have been doing The Severance, which you're not into. And then I thought of you the other day and I said, I bet she hasn't done The Penguin yet because you would have said something. And Kristen Milioti, best actress ever.
I do want to see it. I still want to see it. It's on our list. We are still watching Everything Ever Made by Taylor Sheridan. And we are now on Lawman Bass Reeves.
Lawman Bass Reeves. It sounds like an old Western or something.
Funny you should say that because that's exactly what it is. My husband and I like old Westerns, and so we really like this type of thing. Like one of the favorite movies in our house is Appaloosa.
Don't even know what it is. Blazing Saddles is as Western as I can go.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I'm sorry you're not getting the pounding that you really hoped and
the preferred
dreamed.
pounding, yeah.
The preferred pounding. Hopefully, the good news is that roofers are usually pretty quick.
Yeah,
So
they
should be
tore the
gone
whole
soon.
thing off yesterday. I mean, there was no roof left, and I'm hoping they're going to be quick. And it was just like, oh, God, I'm so wanting things to be good for the show. I have my new stuff, and then the loud music and the banging, and it hasn't been as bad as I would have thought. So I always look on the bright side of life. That's what I do, always. And there we are. And I also, let me get into this before I forget. Last week, there was a thing missed. I owe you an apology because you came up with a very cool concept that I thought I got, but I didn't get. You were talking about people that rob you of time, and you came up with the term clock sucker. And I'm just the court jester asshole. Sometimes I don't follow things. And that is a really great concept because they are sucking the time away from you. How dare they steal your time? They are sucking clock sucker. I thought you were just doing a thing where they kind of change letters around to make a derogatory term like cocksucker, clock sucker. But clock sucker is brilliant. It should be used more. It's kind of similar to Henry Rollins, who had a concept of time murderers. I like your clock suckers as well. So I wanted to acknowledge that. I didn't pick up on that last week.
Well, thank you so very much. I am trying to find a way for it to become a term at my actual place of work. So I'll keep you posted on that.
Problem is that they might mishear you and you might get in trouble. And even if you put that in text, like on a shirt or something, first glance, people are going to think cocksucker. So maybe we need to do a logo including a clock so it really hits the point home for marketing purposes.
I like it. I agree.
It's great,
It should definitely
though.
go in the shirt. It should definitely go in the Total Babble shirt collection.
There are so many people every day that suck my clock daily, just over and over. And it's like, God, come on. The other day, I was sitting at a stoplight and I thought of this because the stoplight got stuck. It just was not going green. I sat there for like 5 minutes. And I was driving an elderly lady to a doctor's appointment. And I said, this is insane. So I ran it. And she, of course, is like on a roller coaster ride now. Oh, what are you doing? Wait, well, do you want to sit there for 10 minutes? No, I don't.
Wait. You fucking what? Sorry, I'm not going to let you step over this.
What did I miss?
What did I miss? What did you miss? What the fuck? What did you miss? That red means stop, motherfucker. You're a red light runner. Did you run a
Oh, of
light?
course I am. I do it all the time.
Oh my God!
I was sitting there for 5 minutes. Do you
I'm
know,
outraged.
It doesn't sound long if you say 5 minutes, but
It's a long
sit
time
and do
at least.
nothing for 5 minutes. It's very long, especially at a stoplight. Like average stoplight, I think is like 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You're sitting there for 5 minutes and it's obviously broken. You got to do something. You can't just sit there.
I mean, you can.
Well,
'Cause
no,
I'm
because somebody's got to do something at some point. You'll sit there all afternoon. You've got to take the bull by the horns and just go, fuck it, I'm going to go and drive now because this city infrastructure is screwed. I'm going to go continue with my life now. And I said to myself, if a cop sees this, I'm going to say to him or her, yes, the light was stuck and they're probably going to let me off anyway. Yeah, you got to have a positive attitude.
It's interesting because I was going to ask you, and you were inside my brain. How are you going to justify that? If you got T-boned,
Yeah.
what
Well,
would
I
you
didn't
say?
just drive. I looked first, I'm just going to randomly hit the accelerator. No, I made sure it was clear.
That's That's way better.
Here we go. Get ready, old lady. No wonder she was so upset.
I just have these visions in my mind of the lady in your passenger seat. I couldn't imagine being in that car with you. I'm such a rule follower.
Yeah.
That would really make me panic. I would not be okay with that. It's giving me hives thinking about it.
She's a little tiny uptight lady that looks like Mary Tyler Moore. And yeah, those kind of things freak her out. But I'm not going to sit there all afternoon when I'm trying to get her to a doctor's appointment. I was doing my part for her in the world. And I'll tell you this right now. I have this thing that I do. I call a Corolla. And I used to listen to the Adam Carolla show way back when it wasn't terrible. And he has this thing where if you get to a left turn lane and it has the red for the left turn lane and nobody is coming from the opposite direction and there's nobody around, that you look behind you, and if there's no cop behind you, you make that left turn and everything is safe, because the only person that is going to see your light is somebody behind you. You can't get busted that way. Somebody from the opposite direction can't see it. You get pulled over, you say it was green, and you get so much more life if you do that. You turn left, you pull a Corolla, as long as it's safe. I feel like it's good. I've probably added an entire day to my life running left turn lights that are red.
Wow.
Come to LA, we'll go driving.
Oh, what an invitation. Thank you so much. I will consider it deeply.
And you're the one with the speeding ticket, so let me just bring that up.
Yes, there was one time. There was one time I got a speeding ticket. One time. Yep.
I haven't had a ticket in probably 5 years because I make up my own rules, but they are safe, and I do it in a good, qualified manner.
This is amazing. Oh my, I'm so surprised.
Are you really?
Yeah, a little bit, because of how particular you are about making sure that other people do the right thing and do it the way that you think it should be done and all of those types of things. I'm surprised to...
Well, because my way is better. So in this case, would you rather sit at that stupid light for 10 minutes or would you want to run it? I would want to run it because there's so many other things I could be doing at that point. Yeah.
I definitely wouldn't. But I'm also super cautious because I always have kids in the car. So I'm... You know, we're running late for things and I'm always saying to my boys, they're like, can't we drive faster? And I'll say, there's no point in rushing to be late. We'll get there when we get there. Better to arrive than to die.
Put that on a shirt. That's a great slogan. Better to arrive than to die.
Well, it's true. You know, some people here where I live, they drive like it's Mario Kart. It's nuts. And like they have an invincibility cloak or something. There are... Some of the car accidents, the wrecks that you drive past here, like how does a car get into a tree, I might ask? Because it's going so fast. It's absolutely insane. And I think we've seen just all these cars just cut in half because they drive at an insane pace. I think, you know, running a red light is probably different to driving a Lambo as hard as you can.
Yeah.
But there's a
but
lot
I'll
of
tell
that
you this,
that
I ran that red light fastly. I made the turn fastly and quickly. I don't want to poke and prod you even more. And if we're going to solve the problem as a society, why are all cars just not like Mario Kart? They all have bumpers on them and soft, cushy
and
material.
Shit out turtles.
And
shit out
turtles.
turtle shells.
Yeah. It doesn't really hurt.
And bombs.
Mushrooms and shit. That'd be a good way to drive to work if it was Mario Kart. Maybe we should do that. That would solve a lot, I think. And I think that if ever you and I actually ever drove together, I think we would drive each other insane from the sounds of it. I feel like you would be so slow and cautious that I would be like, no, you can turn, go. And I would probably just be keeping the pace up and driving so fast at a good, steady, realistic rate that you would probably be freaked out.
Maybe my husband drives very fast. And it's weird because my dad's a truck driver. And so when you drive a truck and when you're carrying weight on the truck, obviously your stopping distance is greater. So both my dad and I, we leave a lot of space in front of us, between us and the next car. I'm always calculating what my stopping distance would be.
Yeah.
I drive a very big, heavy car, like an Escalade, right? It takes a time to stop it. It's a truck, right? So I leave a lot of space. My husband drives a sports car, so he has shorter stopping distance. But when he gets in my car and drives the truck, he still leaves no space.
That's one
And
thing
it
that most
freaks
people
me
are
out.
terrible about, especially in this country, is that they're really right on somebody's ass. And I try to allow for that and remind myself, no, you need to pull back and get behind them more, because if something happens, you're not going to have time to stop. The problem is when you do that, somebody else pulls in front of you because they see it as a space.
Yeah, exactly. There's no way to solve for stupid, but it happens all the time. Oh wow, my voice is changing. Sorry.
We're both wow, you're like a cougar there. Bobcat. It's Stu and the Bobcat. Mornings. What do you think, Bobcat? What's in the news?
Yeah.
In the news, the Pope is in critical condition, and I don't wish bad things on the Pope, but it leads to an ethical and spiritual conversation for me. If the Pope is in critical condition, wouldn't it seem that God effed him on that? Wouldn't it seem that God said, I don't care about you, the Pope. You're supposed to be the main spiritual guy, and I'm going to leave you in critical condition. Why is God not looking out for the Pope? He's got bilateral pneumonia. If religion and spirituality works, what's up with the Pope?
Well, some might argue that God is calling him home because he needs him in heaven.
To that, I would say then that is a uncaring, terrible God, because in the process, God is making him suffer. If he was calling him home, blink of an eye, just like that, he'd take him. God.
You have tapped into why my family are atheists.
Yeah.
I like to have faith in that things will go better and all of those types of things, but I find it very difficult to believe that God really exists when you look at all of the horrible things that happen on Earth. And even if you did believe in a God, I think Ricky Gervais has a bit. I don't know if this is his or it's something that he inspired in me, but honestly, God is way too busy giving babies AIDS to worry about St. Francis.
Yeah, that's Ricky Gervais.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one of my favorites, too.
Yeah, and I mean, I think he's onto something there, people. I'm probably upsetting the God botherers with this. I love that other people have religion. I love that. I love the community of it. I think it's a really beautiful thing. Everybody needs faith, all of that kind of stuff, but not for us.
Yeah, I don't think I'm full atheist. I think I'm agnostic. I just don't know. And I would like to believe there's something out there. And I think I see spirituality from time to time. But the actual religion thing, I have a huge problem with. You know, we've talked about it on the show. And my answer is always cancer kids. And I truly have that attitude. And I almost get to a point of, fuck your religion. Your traditional Christianity is bullshit, and I get very anti that and very argumentative to that. And then I run into people that are able to make it work and not be assholes occasionally. Yeah. I have a friend that I used to work with a long time ago, and he is very just, God bless, and look at the success I have, and he has a lot of success. He worked in the record industry forever, and I'm like, wow, look at who he's hanging out with and all the happiness he has and all that, and he doesn't force it on you. And then Rudy Sarzo is this bass player, played on a lot of records. He was on Ozzy's records and toured with all these people, and he's just a genuinely nice guy and is always very caring to everyone, even on the social media. And he's every once in a while, this is all due to God's grace and that kind of thing, so you can tell where he's coming from, but he's not beating you over the head with it. And he's genuinely that person in person too. A friend of mine had a band, and I guess he was friends with them, and we were at this bar, and I walked up and started talking to him, and we hung out for a while, and just the nicest guy wanted to hang out and talk, and he wouldn't break off the conversation, and I was the dope that was like, so then what? And like Chris Farley in some bit, I didn't know what to say, and I felt like the loser that couldn't keep it going, and he was willing to hang, and I eventually had to go, okay, man, well, good talking to you. I'll see you later. And he was just that good guy. So I feel like almost always these religious people are kooks, but then you have a couple different exemptions of that rule. And where do you go after that? I don't know.
I agree with you. There are a bunch of really lovely, God-fearing people. One of my best friends in the whole wide world, she is deeply religious. She goes to church every Sunday. She's that person, but she doesn't ram it down your throat. So,
and I know that they don't necessarily mean it literally, but the term God-fearing, they should change that, because I think they mean it to be in awe of or respect of, but a lot of people that are hardcore kooky Christians really mean fearing. Like, I'm doing this because I fear God and the wrath of God. Oh, shut up. If there is a God, it should be loving and caring and looking out for you.
Yeah, but not everybody's raised.
Not giving you pneumonia like the Pope.
That. I don't like how the current regime and all these Christian nationalists are trying to force Christianity on people. I don't like that.
It sucks. And it's not what this country was founded on. And if your God is so great, that's great for you. Go live that and go to heaven. And why is there the need to force it on anyone else? If it's so great, God is going to find other people.
Yeah, it's absolutely bonkers. Did I tell you about what happened at the local elementary school? My kids don't go to that one, but all of the parents got a letter home about excluding other children. And then the mum grapevine got going, and we discovered that the local pastor's kids, they were part of a group of kids who were playing a game on the playground, and they turned it into Christians only. We also have a lot of Jewish kids in our neighborhood. These kids are 8 and 9 years old, and they were ostracizing the Jewish kids. As you can imagine, it's bad. But I made it very funny in my head very quickly. And my friends are like, you can't say things like that. Like, well, I just did. But you should really tell them that we don't do that anymore. But they got in trouble, and rightly so. But it was just interesting to see that happening just so close to home.
Why? What was the thing in Louisiana? They're going to post the 10 Commandments. That was the thing that's been battled over. And I would not let my kid go to that school if that was the case. And I would make that known. And in the thing that you're talking about where it's a Christian-only group, I would teach my kids to say, okay, Christian-only group, we're going to be the angry people. Let's string up one of your kids and crucify your kids. Which one is it going to be? Which one of you is Jesus? Let's go. My kids would be little hell raisers and probably not actually hurt the kid, but that is the road that we would take. Okay, who's Jesus? We'll go from there.
It's absolutely diabolical about the things that are happening, and I just don't know. I don't know what people are saying to their kids to make it feel right. I'm currently really outraged by the fact that 9 states are trying to change the law and remove marriage equality.
What do you care? If it doesn't affect you, what do you care? Your great Christian God can find these people and convert them or judge them and send them off to hell. That's what can happen.
Yeah.
It's not your place.
It's exactly. It's so insane that people are spending so much time trying to police people that have nothing to do with them. I mean, I know that sounds stupid because isn't policing, like, that's the core remit, like telling people to not do stuff who aren't you.
Well, but it's a verb that can mean different things.
Yeah, sure. It doesn't make sense to me. I try to think about it, but it just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
And thinking about what you describe, I think a lot of it comes from the internet, and we've had this culture now of everybody going online and their social media and being Gladys Kravitz all of a sudden. And I think it sounds like that is just extended out, and they've added that to their religion, judging everybody and deciding what's right for everybody. And Christians are the new Karens. There we go.
But like we always say on the show, it's the extremists. There's extremists from all walks.
Yeah, I was going to call that back, and then you said that there. Okay, most Christians are the Karens, because I gave those other examples earlier. So there you go.
Yeah.
I call this story, Let Me Shoot You, an email. On Saturday, federal workers received an email from Elon Musk demanding that they reply with 5 things they accomplished in the last week or else face losing their jobs. Well, the email address, hr@opm.gov, got out to people, and people have been sending Elon some very creative things, and people have been listing them here, and I've got a few that we can talk about. So the concept is you have to justify your job and give me 5 things that you did that were important this week. This one person wrote, number 1, didn't vote for Elon. Number 2, didn't vote for Elon. Number 3, didn't vote for Elon. 4, didn't vote for Elon. And then for number 5, they wrote, didn't vote for Elon. So they made the point that he's not an elected official. He's just a piece of shit human being that's crazy. This person just sent one thing. I'm going to send a PDF of the Constitution. They sent that out to everybody. Calculate bills to see if I can afford any groceries. Uninstall bootlicker apps. Narrow down best shade of red lipstick. Tidy the basement. And still call the Gulf of Mexico. I like that one. Oh, here's a clever one. Did not give you up. Did not let you down. Did not run around and desert you. Did not make you cry. Did not say goodbye. Bonus accomplishment, involuntary overtime. Did not tell a lie and hurt you. I love a good Rickroll.
I love a good Rickroll. How are they signing off these emails? Because that's where I think the real magic can happen, and that really makes an email. What's the...
It's not listed in this social media. I would guess that people sent these in, and they're probably not even government workers, but they're still making a point. And I thought, what could I send? And then I started reading these, and that's great. I clog up his inbox. Fuck that guy.
Do you have some more to read? Because you read it, and I'll give you a way to sign off.
Good. I have one more. There's a group I follow on Facebook of women's lawyers, I think. They just had a bunch of good memes. They're called Shit Women with Law Degrees. And one of them came up with this. It's the 5 things I did this week. Monday, your mom. Tuesday, your mom. Wednesday, I did your mom. Thursday, your baby mamas. Yes, all 13 of them. It was a busy day. Friday, your sister. Also, consider this my official notice of overtime worked last Thursday. Failure to pay will be considered an FLSA violation, which, unlike your threat, is legally actionable. These are lawyers that I like.
I like it. They would be signing off that email. Up yours. Rebecca.
The Rebecca is...
I don't know. I just like the name. I just made it up.
Okay.
I just feel like that's a real boss-ass lawyer name.
I feel
like Rebecca sent that email.
I'm with
yours,
you. Cool.
Rebecca.
I like it.
And like full name, not Beck.
Yeah.
Not Becca. Rebecca.
Not Becky.
Not Becky.
It's not
Fuck
Becky.
That.
That's a Baby Got Back song. You don't do that, Becky. That kind of thing there.
The only reason that rap guy stuck to, she looks like a total prostitute.
Oh my God, Becky.
Yeah. Totally.
I wanted to qualify the Rebecca because I thought maybe it was a clocksucker thing there that I was missing out on, and wanted to make sure I'm getting all the goodness.
No, it was just something that I had... I just had a vision. The one that says, didn't vote for Elon, didn't vote for Elon, didn't vote for Elon.
Yeah.
Somebody would have signed that off. Live, laugh, toast a bath.
Toast a bath?
Yeah.
Huh?
Like I'm getting in the bathtub with
Champagne.
my fucking toaster.
Yeah.
No, I'm getting in the bathtub.
Not
toaster.
Give a toast, throw a toaster in.
Yeah, toaster bath. I'm fucking had enough of you pricks.
Yeah.
That's it. And that just to let them know that they've had enough, they're completely fed up, and they're ready to end it all. I feel like that's fair.
I find it funny that the cords on toasters are so short, and that is directly attributed to the stupid people that we have in this country. Like, we need to make sure you can't get that thing near a sink ever, because clearly Americans are so stupid that they've done it over and over again. If you were really trying to screw somebody over, there's extension cords.
Right. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
I have something for you, a very special email sign-off for you and for all of your emails that I think I feel it matches up really well with your personality.
I like it.
Save time. See it my way. Stu.
Oh, I had something like that I used to say. What was it? That's my opinion. Make it yours used to be my thing. And then I thought,
yes.
I thought, that's not that great. I'll stop using it. But I feel like I'm usually well thought out. In any case, if you wanted to send an email to Elon, that's hr@opm.gov. I bet they're in the process of closing that down because it's going to be overrun, but you never know. So you have that.
Surely it's been overrun by now.
In other asshole news, Kid Rock is still an asshole. That loser kook was performing at Bon Jovi keyboard player's birthday last week. The keyboard player was having a birthday, I guess, at Bon Jovi's club, and for some reason invited Kid Rock because he's such a dynamic performer. And Kid Rock was up there performing and ended up walking out because people weren't clapping along enough. It's not that people weren't clapping for him, it's that they weren't clapping along. And it turns out I have audio of this. Here you go. The immense talent of Kid Rock.
Hey, stop. If you ain't gonna clap, we gonna sing.
First off, I love that affect. You ain't gonna clap, we ain't gonna sing. I'm a fucking redneck. God, like, just try to be a normal human being. Could you? Is that even humanly possible?
If you ain't gonna clap, we gonna sing. That's how it's gonna work.
So now he tries to get him to clap. Yeah, fucking Kid Rock. Go,
Don't
dude.
get too fast.
Yeah.
Now we can go I was rolling.
I know that these people are white
Yeah.
because they've got no fucking rhythm.
Yeah.
There is nothing more infuriating to me than just people who can't fucking clap in time. What are they doing? It sounds like Spokey Dokes or someone's put a fucking card on the wheel of their bicycle. That is not in time. It's like these kill them all.
Well, they're white rednecks and they're drunk. That says it all. Tina Turner is rolling over in her grave right now as we speak. I'm pretty
Honestly,
sure. Just
she's
me
a
playing
legend.
this. She's up there looking, going, "Oh, Stu, why are you playing that again? God damn it, he's ruining that song."
I was rolling.
Oh, he's quiet and pensive. Oh, now he means it. This is the oversing, look how I still can sing part. Nobody's clapping.
You know what? Fuck you up. You ain't gonna clap? I'm going.
And then he walked off the stage because people weren't clapping along.
He's on drugs. Everybody knows. It's very hard, especially for obviously the people in that audience, to keep clapping for multiple minutes.
Yeah, it gets tiring and it just generally fades out. And they're drunk and they can't keep time. And yeah. I've been to many a spirited concert where people are clapping along and it just fades out because it fades out. It's a natural thing.
It's a natural thing. It's just what happens. And no real artist worth their salt needs the audience to carry the rhythm for the fucking song.
Yeah.
They do audience participation exists for the audience and to heighten their experience it doesn't exist for you, the performer. That guy is an idiot.
I paid to see this show. Get up and do your job.
Right.
Yep.
Caw-caw!
It's like an exclamation point right there. A little random exclamation point. Here is a very cool story. Once in a while, I like to try to find the positive things. Oh, and by the way, before we get to that, I wanted to mention, did you hear who Kid Rock is allegedly dating? Somebody that's perfect for him.
Oh, Marjorie Taylor Greene?
Yes, but no. Hotter, crazier. Maybe not crazier. Hotter. Just as crazy.
Alaska one, Sarah Palin.
No. Lauren Boebert. He's apparently...
fuck off!
They're perfect for each other. They allegedly, after Trump conventions, have been getting into limos together and been seen together at 2 a.m. And that's a terrible couple. If those two ever had offspring, oh my God, imagine the murders.
You know what song I hope they walk down the aisle to if they get married?
What's
You
that?
Oughta Know by Alanis Morissette, because they
go
have
down
that
on
great
you in a
line,
theater.
go down on you in a theater. Would she go down on you in a theater? Fucking this bitch would. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Public sex are us, Bobcat.
She is the reason that I admit to being a hypocritical, crazy man, because she's the worst person in the world. I hate her, and I would also do her silly. And not in a caring manner, but I would absolutely do it. And I've said it before on this show, and I'm sorry, I just need to admit it because it's the way I feel. Very attractive. As attractive as she is, more of an asshole, and I would feel terrible about it. There would be no lovingness in that, is what I'm saying. I don't know if I just made it better or worse.
Well, I think what you're describing is technically referred to as hate fucking. But
Absolutely. I was going to wait for you being the one to say it. So there you go.
yeah, I mean, she is pretty. I couldn't remember what she looked like, but she is pretty.
And then there's part of me that thinks I could change her. I could rock her world so hard that she would be a changed woman, and I would make her sane again. All hail me, Stu. And it would be one for the country. I would be doing it for the country. That's the kind of goodness that I would have there.
Oh my God, she can't even be saved.
She's very trash. Very total trash.
Fantastic.
Anyway, I was going to move on to this good thing, and I'll do it now. Here is somebody that is just a good person. This is the story about a mail carrier. You'll hear the story. The audio from this camera is a little bit hard to hear. I'm hoping my new stuff will bring it up well, but listen close. And this is just a really cool guy that went out of his way just to do the right thing, you know?
This mailman has a package to drop off, but he worries about porch pirates. That's when the homeowner communicates with him via security camera.
Hi, we're not home.
Okay, I'm gonna take it back to the office.
Okay.
Watch the personalized service that follows.
It's from your Uncle Michael.
Oh, does that need to be signed for?
No, but usually I don't leave stuff at the front if it's not from a store.
The homeowner informs him it's okay to leave the package. That's when he leans in earnestly with a solution.
Would you like me to put it inside the recycling bin?
Oh, yeah, that would work.
Okay. You have a
Thank
wonderful
you.
day.
I appreciate it.
Social media
So he's doing that good thing, and he's one of those people that you see from time to time that you just look at and know, hey, that's a good person. They have that air about them, and I want to know what that is. They're just like, okay, there's a good guy. And this guy's now becoming internet famous, which is cool.
is in love, a great employee who truly cares. Such a sweetheart. We tracked down the homeowner, Carissa Basiliga, in Washington State.
Hands down, he is awesome. I don't think I've ever had a mailman take such care, intentional care, with a package.
So what was in the package?
It's just a ton of really old coins.
And they're irreplaceable. So hats off to this mail carrier for going beyond the call of duty on his appointed rounds.
Have a great day.
You too.
In other news, Elon Musk said he's going to fire that guy immediately. So we have that to look forward to. Not really, but that's probably the way the world would go.
Probably the way the world works. It's nice to hear stories like that. Meanwhile, I look out my window and I see our mail carriers driving up on the lawn, just throwing things out, leaving it open in the pissing rain.
Yep.
Just all sorts of crazy things. I jest. We have some good mail carriers, and I leave snacks out for them, so I always get my shit delivered on time.
It was pouring rain the other day, and I had an Amazon delivery, and I felt so bad for the guy. I left, I said guy, sexist me, you son of a bitch, guy or girl. I left them a $5 tip and said, there's an orange tree behind you. Grab all the oranges you want, because that is a terrible shit job to have on a day like that. Like, you can't just drive up like the mailman can next to the mailbox. You have to get out and take it to the door. And that person took it to the door, and it's like, okay, here's $5. Here's something, so think of those people.
We have one of those Ring cameras. Sometimes we see some amazing shit on that because it faces the street. Once we had an Amazon delivery person who didn't even come to the door. They just launched the box like a basketball from halfway across our lawn, and it just bounced off the front door. I don't know what was in it. It was something not fragile. But that was pretty funny. So
yeah,
I
hear those too. I'm kind of near my front porch, and I hear a dunk every once in a while. I'm like, okay, there's somebody that didn't really give a shit. So
yeah, dunk. So that happened. We also caught my neighbor. My neighbor does some crazy shit. She's got a bunch of kids.
That is trouble.
One of them is a bit of a prick. And one day, the thing is like playing, and it's been activated, and we just see her peeling out of her driveway almost on two wheels and doing a burnout like in front of our house, and the windows are down and you can hear her screaming at her kids, and I'm like, oh wow, that's a rough day. Then another time she had a fight with her asshole kid, kicked him out of the car on the street. So there's not it's not that far to walk, but he's walking down the middle of the street and she's driving up behind him and hacking on the brakes, and driving up behind him and hacking on the brakes. My husband and I are like, what the fuck? Could you imagine? I've never felt that enraged with my kids that I've wanted to do something like that, and I'd never do that. But imagine explaining how you ran over your own kid. Well, see, sir, what I was doing was I was trying to intimidate my child with vehicular manslaughter or the threat of it, and I was speeding up and then slamming on the brakes behind him, and then I just slipped. What? Anyway.
That sounds like a young, dumb, irresponsible parent is what that sounds like.
This person is in their 50s.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, and not...
She just did the symbol for crazy. She moved her finger around.
She's a little bit of a loon, I think.
Great, so she'll raise a crazy kid. We'll have that to look forward to in society.
We put a fence between our houses.
It's good. Good way to go. That's almost like the fun thing that I think everybody has done is somebody is getting in your car and you have it on, and just as they're about to get in, you pull forward a little bit so they can't get in. And then they try to get in again, and you do it, and you're like, oh, what are you doing? Oh, okay, come on, no, really. And then you pull forward in a little bit. I think everybody does that. Usually in the teen years is when that happens.
Yes, I'm not looking forward to when my kids can drive.
Yeah, it's going to be a thing. Teen years in general, there's going to be so much happening there.
There's going to be so much happening there. I am thinking about implementing a rule. My husband and I are thinking about implementing a rule that when our boys are old enough to drive, they are not allowed to drive anybody but themselves and their brother.
Do you have one of those tracker things on their phones so you can see where they are?
They don't have phones.
Are they going to have phones with tracker things so you can see where they are?
Yes, they have watches that have GPS locators on them, though. So to answer your question, yes.
So if they had to, they could make an emergency phone call with that. And interesting.
But I'm thinking, so here's the rationale. One, we don't want the car to have a bunch of teen boys putting pressure on the driver to drive like a dickhead. Two, what if our child is a bad driver? Drivers are more likely to survive than other kids in the car, right? So there's that. And then also I want to have a rule that they are not allowed to travel in the car with their friends until they're like out of high school. think university's okay.
If drivers are more likely to survive than everybody else in the car, what if you did the rule that you're only allowed to drive with the kids that we don't like that are a bad influence? Then, who cares?
It's an interesting point.
That little dickhead kid, take him for a drive.
The
Let's
neighbors' kids, get them in there. Put them in the trunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just going to be interesting to see what happens with all that, because it just generally the teen years are such a thing anyway. And nowadays it's insane, the influences that are out there. And
yeah,
we'll
it's
we'll
diabolical.
see how it goes for you.
I feel sorry for kids being teenagers today and even tweens today. Just absolutely terrifying, the things that are out there. I mean, you can't even go and smoke pot now because it could be laced with fentanyl.
Well, you can get the kind of pot from the store, but it's not the pot that we grew up with, that you knew it wasn't going to macrame your ass to the couch and you wouldn't be able to deal with life. I, a couple times over the years, have tried some to get to sleep, and it makes me feel so weird and terrible and paranoid that I would never do it again. It's like so intense, this new pot. And I, in my teen to early 20s, smoked a lot of pot, but not anymore.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I've never been able to tolerate it. I've tried it a couple of times, but not for me. It makes me paranoid, makes me feel sick. But, you could do it.
Gotten to the point now where I can't even drink. That's depressing. It keeps me up at night. God damn it. I want to drink.
I recently started drinking again, but now I'm off. But I had a whole week there where I couldn't sleep. And so I drank alcohol to put myself to sleep. And it just takes one drink.
See,
and then
to
I'm
me,
like,
it keeps me up, and they say it screws up your circadian rhythm. And I'll get to sleep, and then 2 a.m. I'm wide awake and I'm up all night. And I'm like, I can't do this anymore. It sucks.
I feel that.
Here's a total Babel secret story for you. This is almost like YouTube out of context, but it's just one story. And I want to see how long it takes you to identify what's going on here. I have audio, and I'll stop it as we go, and you can kind of guess what the story is about. And the quality here is not good. It's not my fault. This is why you always do minimum 192 kilobytes for your audio. Sounds like 60, but you can still hear what's going on.
Gabrielle, what did the first and last steps of this sprint feel like?
Oh, I think the first steps it still didn't feel quite real.
So right off the bat, you've made some faces. What's your assessment of this woman?
A, she's an athlete, and she's a Kiwi, so she's from New Zealand. And
damn it. I was hoping you'd at least stumble on that. Like maybe you could go Australian, but yeah, she's absolutely from New Zealand. She's absolutely
from New Zealand. And she's maybe either an athlete or a developer or project manager, somebody who does something in sprints.
You're on the right track with athlete. She did something.
There'd been a big build-up, and then finally I got the big explosion for the go signal and hit the Lego. So I think at that stage it didn't feel quite real, but certainly by the last couple of steps it was really hurting. I was looking for the finish line.
I think you described it as the worst massage of your life.
I know it.
She's so happy.
I know it.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Oh, I'm so excited. I don't know if this is a thing. Okay, I don't know if this is a real thing, but
You're getting me excited.
If this is a real thing, if this actually happened, this is fucking bonkers, but I like it.
All right.
It sounds like this woman has done a race across Lego.
You're absolutely right. That's it.
Oh my God! Who does that? Like terrible, like Spiky Bernie badness.
My joke is, what the hell is a Lego? I don't know what a Lego is, but it's a world record, a Guinness Book of World Records. She's from New Zealand, and she ran barefoot over 100 meters of Legos and set the record for that. And her feet were bloodied, and they had a doctor there. And I said, what a stupid stunt. Why would you do that kind of thing? That's really goofy. But yeah, that's. Let me see if there's anything else interesting in the audio here.
You've had a couple of days to recover. How are your feet doing?
They're looking a lot prettier than they were, though I have to say that's not saying much. They were not looking nice at all. They're definitely improving. I can see them being beautiful once again.
Okay, well, that's good. That must be a relief. What kind of damage was done? It was less than 25 seconds.
I actually had most of the damage was done during the training. So I had quite a lot of blistering and callousing from the training. There was only one decent cut from the actual run itself. So a few minor cuts and scrapes.
And what did that rigorous training regime involve?
I've been barefoot since around November last year.
Everywhere? Barefoot everywhere?
Pretty much everywhere. Unless it was a very important work meeting, but I did the Christmas party season barefoot. I did my brother's wedding barefoot. Fortunately, his wedding was Lego themed.
Why? Why do this,
Great
Gabrielle?
question.
I had a health scare a couple of years ago and reevaluated my bucket list as a result and decided that something that would be really fun to do as a project with my kids would be to set a Guinness World Record.
Okay.
So came up with this, but when the guidelines came through, you weren't actually allowed to attempt it under the age of 18.
Right.
So it fell on me, the responsibility. My son was my coach, my daughter was my manager, and my son tells me that when he turns 18 in 5 years, he's going to be coming for my record.
Oh, a competitive family. I like that. I saw the photographs of them supporting you after your run. They looked pretty proud, are they?
They were pretty proud. It was equal measures. My mother's amazing. My mother's a bit crazy.
So there you go. That goes on for a little while. And then as I was listening to that, I didn't get this in the first place, but I thought maybe that's something you could do. They brought the family in, and you're almost New Zealandish with the accent. What would you like to walk over or run over for 100 meters?
Elon Musk.
Oh, spread him out, gut him for 100 meters? I would do that.
Steamroller. I would like to see how thin I could get Elon Musk.
Squish.
Yeah.
Do you think he is more hated than Trump at this point? I think it's very close.
Potato. I don't know. I think they're both as bad as each other.
I thought you said paturda, and I was turd. Yeah, that's right. You're on track there.
No. But still, it's ridiculous. I can't even talk about them anymore.
It's just beyond bad, and hope you like what you got. When you voted, MAGA assholes, you're going to be the ones in poverty too. So,
notice how no one cares about the
finding-
price of eggs. Sorry, I didn't notice how none of these cunts care about the price of eggs anymore. Eggs, bird flu, all of that sort of stuff. They don't care anymore. We stopped talking about eggs, but eggs are so expensive and they don't exist anymore.
That was good at the time to blame it on Biden, and then they're still expensive in the stores, and it's less of a focus. And I probably shouldn't admit this in public, but the little stickers with Donald Trump pointing that say, I did this, I have a bunch of those stickers.
Oh.
So I can make the rounds and have some fun. Oh, I wonder if that would go good, perhaps, on one of those new Cybertrucks.
Oh.
The Cybertruck thing, I have a story next week that we didn't get to this week, that people are actually following Cybertrucks and wait till they park, and they're projecting stupid shit on the Cybertrucks because they can, things with Elon Musk and that kind of thing. So we can get to that if we decide to next week. And with that, I'm willing to make it a show.
Show done. Cacaw.
This has been a show, and do you want one of those? I got your goddamn cacaw right here.
Cacaw.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. If you haven't done it, I highly recommend that everybody returns their swastikas.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just be like Sheryl Crow. That should be the motto. Be like Sheryl Crow.
I am ashamed to admit I know people who have one of those cars.
The Cybertruck specifically?
The Cybertruck, very specifically.
Have you talked to them about it recently?
I haven't talked to them recently at all.
No.
But they're people that I know through Facebook.
Yeah.
Or that I knew from work about 10 years ago that I'm still in contact with on Facebook. And so it's just interesting to see it come through. There's a number of people who I know through work who I'm still in contact with via Facebook who are big Trumpy dumpies.
I am seeing videos, at least, that is starting to change. And though it is from a left-wing perspective, I'm at least seeing videos of those people being interviewed and saying, yeah, I made the wrong choice and I'm really sorry and I screwed up. To which I always say my favorite new phrase, you made your diarrhea-filled bed, now sleep in it. So
It's interesting, and I know that the show's done. We ended the show a little while ago, but I'm choosing to take the approach of not berating people who have changed their mind, but instead saying, hey, it's okay to be disappointed because you were lied to. Because I feel like then they're less likely to double down. You know, the message isn't you're a fucking moron. It's you were lied to, and don't worry, let's band together and fix it.
But I feel like, okay, you were stupid enough to be lied to, and we told you you were being lied to, and you were an asshole about it. And I don't say those things directly to their face. Maybe if and when it comes up, I will say, okay, what are you going to do about it? Where do we go from here? We've established that you were a fucking idiot and didn't listen to anybody and did the wrong thing. What do we do now? Because I feel like we're going to need a revolution or a civil war at this point to get this figured out. And I know there's people smarter than me trying to figure it out. I hope they have something.
Yeah, I hope somebody has something. I would like to avoid any of that sort of stuff. I'm hoping that we just wait it out, wait our time. Stuff gets blocked, stuff becomes more moderate, and then in 4 years' time, things change.
My thought was 2 years in, there's midterm elections, and then we can at least have gridlock to where nothing gets done because it will all be blocked. But the amount of damage they can do in 2 years is insane. Look what they've done in a month.
It's diabolical.
And that's why,
literally diabolical.
That's why I'm feeling revolution or coup, and I'm not advocating for that as people listen to this from the Secret Service. I'm not saying that should happen. I'm saying that it seems like that's the only answer that could be for this working out. I don't know.
Yeah, it's don't even get me started. Too late. Well, always an absolute pleasure. Have a rockin' week. See you back here next week.
Always delightful, always fun. That would be you. Talk to you next time.
Okay, you know how this goes. Like us, subscribe, tell your friends, write a nice review, engage with us. We're Total Babble on Instagram, on Facebook, on Threads, and on Blue Sky. Email is show@totalbabble.com. The Total Babble Podcast.